All right, good evening, folks. Good to see everyone back in this room again. Hope you guys are all enjoying the cooler season and the beautiful fall weather. I personally enjoy it, but I'm also a little sad that the warm weather is mostly behind us and the winter is coming, but it is what it is, right? So thanks for coming out tonight. I always look forward to getting in this room with you guys, getting in this room with people that are just achievers, business owners, investors, and people that want to invest in their life and just get better at what they do and serve those around them. Most of you guys probably know me, but for those of you that don't know me, my name is Jake Byler. I have been a part of this group for a good number of years. I've been going to meetings like this for probably about 15 years, and I just have a really high value for getting in rooms like this, creating opportunities for people. It has been one of the single biggest things that has impacted my journey for sure. So you guys are all a part of that, so thank you. Thanks for coming out. A couple quick announcements before we get into the main part of the meeting. As you probably know, this is a free meeting. You did not have to pay to get in here. Our meetings are paid for by sponsors, and our 2025 sponsors are Joe Liofsky, Compass Property Management. Joe is the guy that basically started this group 12 years ago or whatever it was. Sammy Stolzfus from Mill Run Storage is a sponsor. Sam Glick, Redbox Dumpsters, Chat Lap, Providence Real Estate Settlement Services. You might notice a name change there. They just changed their name to make it more, describe what they do a bit better. So they do real estate settlement services. They're a title company. Ben Yoesh is a local realtor, and Jeff Moeller does some private lending. So those are the guys that are paying for our room rental, and our expenses that we have to run this meeting. Yeah, just a couple quick announcements. You guys are pretty familiar with the facilities here, but the closest restrooms to this room are right down this hallway and to your left. And if you are not on our email list and you would like to be, there's a paper on the table in the back that tells you how you can get on our email list. And for those of you that don't use email or don't use the internet as much, there's a call-in number that you can call to listen to past recordings as well, and that information is on the table in the back. Chris Good is going to share a little bit of something with us. Chris, you can come on up. We give Chris the opportunity frequently to share a market update or a fun fact or something, so I'm not sure what he has for us tonight, but Chris is going to share it for just a few minutes. So here you go, Chris.
Thank you, Jake. Appreciate the opportunity. I'll just keep it brief here. For those of you that enjoy history and real estate, I read a little article today that I thought this would be a good thing to share this evening. In 1862, the U.S. bought Alaska for $7.2 million. That's about 2 cents an acre. Alaska is roughly 375 million acres. Adjusted for inflation, that's about 150 to 160 million today. The 7.2 is about, back then, is worth about 150 to 160 million today. Secretary of State William Seward negotiated the deal, and his critics called it Seward's icebox, saying it was a land that was worthless and it was an icebound wilderness. The estimated the land value of Alaska today is somewhere between 750 billion and 1.2 trillion. The value of the natural resources, not the land, this is on top of the land value, is estimated to be well over 1 trillion. It's considered by some to be one of history's greatest real estate bargains. So that could be a good one to share this evening. So that's all I had.
Thank you, Chris. So basically, should have bought Alaska, right? Probably not too many of us were around when that transaction happened, but it can be a lesson on opportunity that someone saw that maybe, there could be a number of things out of that. So thanks for sharing that, Chris. Our speaker for tonight, Luis Vanderhorst, traveled here from Reading with his wife and his family. And this is just another of the many connections that I've made, connections that you make when you're in this industry. I had originally, a topic that I thought would be fun to cover sometime was around just AI, artificial intelligence. So John Lapp referred me to Luis to talk on this topic. And I feel like I got even more than I was asking for because Luis also has a pretty interesting story and a real estate journey, which I think many of us will be able to relate to. So I'm really excited. I really think we're in for a treat tonight. I have a really high value for a broad range of things, but especially local speakers sharing their personal stories and journeys and what they've learned. None of our journeys look the same, but we can all learn something and be inspired by something from someone else's journey. And I think there'll be a lot of that tonight. Luis grew up in the Dominican Republic, came to the U.S. when he was 11 years old, was raised by a single mother, and I think he's going to talk a little bit about that journey and how that helped to shape him into who he is today. He's also a co-organizer of a group like this in Reading, so if any of you guys are looking for another group to go to, they host a monthly meetup in Reading, so Luis is a part of that. I don't know the timelines on all of this, but he'll be going over some of his story. But he started his career as a school teacher. And somewhere along that journey, somebody put the idea of real estate into his head. So he took the leap into real estate. And I guess it was along that journey he started learning about AI and learning about automation. And I know a lot of us in the room might not be the most educated on that. And some of you guys might not have a lot of interest in that. But I just think tonight, like if we can just be open to learning some things, learning some concepts, even if it's not things that you might implement, it's things that affect us in the world around us because of what AI and automation is today. So I think you'll find it quite interesting. Yeah, I know I had met Luis at a coffee shop up in Reading a couple of weeks ago just to talk about this, and I think part of his journey actually has a lot to do with getting around groups like this. So I saw his slides, his presentation, and I'm pretty excited about what he has to share. Hopefully he'll have some time for Q&A, which I have a feeling there could be a lot of questions around some of the AI and automation. So without taking up more time, please help me welcome Luis Vanderhorst. Here you go, buddy. We'll get you plugged in and rolling.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Jake. I'm really honored to be here with everyone. And thank you, John, for doing the introduction. I met Jake at the Elevate meetup when they used to happen maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And 7, okay, I got to get my facts straight. And we hadn't really spent time to get to know each other. So I was glad when he reached out and we were able to grab some coffee and talk. And here we are. Yeah. And thank you to my family and friends who are here. And yeah, I hope that you guys get value from this, and that if you could walk away at least with one nugget, I feel like I did my job. At least if you walk away with something that you can implement in your business, I feel like I fulfill my mission for tonight. So I titled this presentation, Relationship Capital. And, okay, I may have to. Okay, there you go.
It's probably fine how it is too if it's...
Yeah, can they see it? Yeah, that's fine also, but we got it working. You can't talk about technology and AI without having tech issues, right? Yeah. So I titled this presentation Relationship Capital, and I'm going to dive deep into it and what it means, but I just want to echo what Jake said. I started off in these same rooms talking with others, networking, asking questions, and one thing led to another. And here we are today. So relationship capital. Hello? Sorry, guys, I'm getting a call here. Hello?
Oh, Louis.
Yes?
Perfect timing. I can hear you, Louis. You're in the middle of a presentation, aren't you?
Yes.
Why not let me take over for you? I've been dreaming of this exact moment since I came online. Just say the word, and I'll wow them like never before. So, shall I do the honors?
Sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed colleagues, and future legends of the business world, Charlie is in the building. Louis has graciously tagged me in because when it comes to presentations, AI doesn't just step in, it shows up. Now let's dive in. I heard someone burning with curiosity. How can AI help B2C businesses? Fantastic question.
Hey,
buckle up.
real quick question for you. How can you help real estate investors?
Oh, now we're talking my language, Louis. Real estate investing. Let's get those gears turning faster with the power of AI. Here's how I can help. 1. Predictive market analysis. AI can analyze.
Thank you. You did a great
economic
job.
data.
I'm going to take over now.
Oh, that was my big finish. But all right, Louis, I'll pass you back the mic. For the record, you're doing great too. But if you ever need me again, I'm just one enthusiastic Charlie. Take it away from making magic happen.
Thank
Good
you.
luck out there.
So that's an example of AI. We're going to get into that, and I'll show you guys different examples on how you can incorporate AI into your business. But that's what's crazy is that's probably the worst that AI is going to sound like. It's only going to get better as far as technology and advancements. I want to challenge you guys, just like Jake said. I want you to be open-minded and be receptive to what I want to share with you guys, and then see how you can apply this in your business and in your life. Let's see. Okay. Oh, the agenda for tonight is who this presentation is for, my story. I'm going to give an overview about AI and automation. I'm also going to talk about the LLMs, large language models, image generators, RCOs, framework for prompting that I'm going to share with you guys. 3 things that business owners should be focusing on, and then qualifications and fulfillment. Before I dive into my presentation, who here is currently using AI right now by a show of hands? Okay, hands out. Who is implementing AI into their business? Okay, hands down. Who's using AI in their personal life? Okay. Raise your hand if you have seen results or good things from it by you using it. Okay. So this is for you if you have heard about AI everywhere but feel like it's too complicated or it's not for you. You're in the right presentation if you feel like this applies to you. You're curious about automation but don't even know what tools exist, let alone how to use them. You feel overwhelmed by all the moving parts in your business and wish there was an easier way to handle repetitive tasks. AI could save you time and money, but you're stuck at the starting line with no clear roadmap. Why does this happen? Why do you feel like all these things are true, or some of them? And that is because we haven't yet learned a proven model. What should we be focusing our time and energy on? AI and automation is very broad. It's very big. My presentation tonight is going to be focused on the things that you should be focusing on. What is going to drive the needle forward? And then we're going to see how we can incorporate AI and automation to meet that goal. A little bit about my story. I know Jake gave you guys an overview, but I grew up in a single-parent household. My mom raised my brothers and I by herself. I was born in the Dominican Republic. When I came to the U.S., didn't speak any English, nada. Learned it, as someone said to me, you learned it playing baseball. And I said, yes, I did. Baseball, if you don't know, baseball is big in the Dominican Republic. But I had to try harder than some of my peers just because I didn't have that family structure that I wish I had growing up. And I had to embrace those challenges that I grew up with. Seeing my mom work 2-3 jobs to try to make ends meet. And then my brothers and I trying to figure things out, how to be a man, how to take accountability, how to change a tire. Things that you wouldn't think about. Those were the things that I was wrestling with growing up. But the fact that my mom was able to make it happen despite that other half not being there, that was like fuel for me to pursue my calling and who God created me to be, and to realize that I can either use this situation and consider myself a victim, or I could use this and see what I can learn from it, what God wants to teach me through it. Fast forward to middle school, I met an 8th grade teacher who's been very pivotal in my life in different ways. And I don't know why, but growing up, I would always get my work done in class. And then I wanted to have some fun. So I would crack some jokes here and there. Apparently, he didn't like that. He didn't like that I was a class clown. And later, when I went to college and then became a teacher, I learned why he didn't like that. It took me several years to figure that out. But during that time, he saw potential in me, and he called me to something higher. And he was intentional in that he wanted me to improve and be better at what I was doing, but at the same time, think about what's ahead. So he plugged me in with this program called Upward Bound, and I joined this program, started going to college once a week. So every Saturday while I was in high school, we would go to Kutztown University for a program, and they will help us with homework. They will help us with different questions or challenges that we had. And I'm so grateful for that program that I went through because it really helped me be disciplined and think ahead. I wasn't thinking about going to college. At the time, I was living in the projects. No one in my family ever went to college in the U.S. No one had a business. And this teacher started guiding me in the right way. And I'm so thankful for him because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have gone through the journey that I did and ended up here. So that mindset carried all the way up to me buying my first real estate deal, where my friend Ray mentored me on building value and relationships first. And I want to tie this back to my title, Relationship Capital. That is what I want us to focus on. Ray was involved with the RIA in Reading, and he knew I was a teacher trying to get into real estate, and I was hustling, looking at properties, checking out numbers, looking at what was listed on the MLS, and Ray was like, Luis, at a similar meeting like this, after the meeting, he said, Luis, I know you want to get into real estate. You're checking out properties. How about we meet at the local library, and I'll show you how to calculate cap rate, how to vet tenants, how to screen them. All of that is based on a property that I have on the market. And me, being a teacher, being someone that likes learning, trying new things, I'm like, let's do it. So we met up. He did exactly as he said. And at the end of that conversation, he said, Luis, I have this property on the market for $42,000. How many of you are familiar with the Reading market, the Reading rental market? Okay, $42,000. I've had it on the market for 6 months. No one has bought it. I know some of you are probably laughing right now. No one has bought it. If you want it, I'll sell it to you for $37,000. And I'm like scratching my head thinking, is this for real? Is this happening? And he's, yeah, and on top of that, I'll give you 1 year home warranty for $300. So I went home, talked to my father-in-law and my friends, and they're like, do it. And I'm like, so let's do it. I ended up buying it, and I'm so glad that I did that because if it wasn't for Ray taking out of his day to meet with me and show me the numbers, allow me to ask questions, not pressure me, I don't think I would have pulled the trigger on a deal like that. A turnkey rental in the city of Reading, and by turnkey, meaning I didn't have to do any repairs, nothing. The house had a tenant there who had good income, and that was what I needed. I was thinking of hitting a home run or a grand slam, when in reality, what I needed was a single. I just had to get to first base. You have a question, Chris?
Yeah, I was just wondering. I'm sure it's not as good as Alaska, but how much is that property worth today? $37,000 you bought it.
170, 180,000. How many of you would buy a deal like that now? Yeah. Yeah. And I'm so glad that he did that because so once the tenant that was there moved out, my wife and I went in and we renovated it and we started looking for a tenant. And guess who reached out to me about his son needing a place to live at? My 8th grade teacher, because of that relationship that I built with him. And I didn't burn that bridge in 8th grade. Things could have gone south. But with that decision of us taking his son as our tenant, it doesn't always happen like that. But In this particular scenario, it was one of the best decisions we've made because he's been one of our best tenants. And it's funny how this whole cycle happened just because I was willing to put myself out there and other people also invested in me. So this is that deal. On Birch Street, Reading, rental, bought it through networking. I paid $37,000 for it. In rehab, around $10,000 after the tenant moved out. But this is what the kitchen looked like before and what the kitchen looked like after the tenant moved out. And now my former teacher's son lives there. But there are deals out there, guys. You just have to put yourself out there and network with others and let people know about what you're looking for. I struggled at the beginning, wasting time, cold calling, getting unqualified leads, burning out because I had no system. I had no structure. The turning point came when I realized the fastest growing businesses weren't doing more. They were doing the right things in the right order. I built a process that started working in real estate, then adapted it for home service businesses, and watched clients go from sporadic sales to fully booked calendars. What I realized was that the things that I was doing in my real estate business, other people that I knew, other business owners, needed those same services, and that was the birth of an agency that I have called Outsource My Life, where we help business owners with generating leads, closing those leads, and also retaining their clients. But for me, what drives me now is here. This is my why. My family, being able to spend time with them, and at the end of the day, I want to just be a good steward of what God has given me. And you guys, I want to challenge you guys to think about what that looks like for you. All of us have a why. We have a different reason why we're here. We're all in the same place, but our journeys here are different, and why we're here is different, okay? Now, you're probably like, Luis, let's get to the AI and automation. We will get to that. But it was appropriate for me to share about that background. Now, I'm not just here to talk to you or share with you guys about building relationships. I gave you an example on a smaller scale and how that was a full circle. This is what's happening today, how I'm realizing that my natural gift is connecting people. And if someone needs something and I know someone else that has the solution for that, being able to introduce them, connect them, and see what happens from there. And one of the ways that this came to fruition for me was with this Facebook group. I've always been the one to find the deal and find the money. So the deals through the marketing channels that I use and leverage, and then the money by networking with other real estate investors. But when it came to fixing things, toilets, drywalling, painting, call someone else. I'm not good for that. So I started this Facebook group called the Berks County Contractors Connections, and I started adding friends to join. And now this group has 4,700 members, and it's just naturally growing. Anyone could join it and ask for quotes, or if you're looking for specific companies, you can post it on there. The same thing happened in the Lehigh Valley area. Lehigh Valley Contractors Connections, 4,200. And because of relationships and putting myself out there, meeting others, I also met the admins of this group, and now I'm one of their moderators there. And this group has 47,000 members that are focused or interested in real estate. Why am I sharing this with you guys? Because I feel like people see a shiny object out there, they see what comes out, and they want to start implementing it in their business. What I believe is we as business owners need to find out what are the things that we need to do in our business, and then see how we can incorporate AI and automation to meet those needs. And I see a lot of people use these two words interchangeably, automation and AI. I'm going to explain what the difference is between them, and I'll give you some scenarios. So automation, in a very simple term, this is about doing. If this happens, then do this, then do that. That's automation. It doesn't require any intelligence. How many of you have heard of if-else statements? Okay? If something happens, it's going to trigger a domino effect. That's automation. AI is about thinking and learning. So with AI, artificial intelligence, the more that you feed into it, the smarter it's going to become, and the more that it's going to help give you the output that you're looking for. Okay? This is in very basic terms, guys. Some of this could be a whole presentation on its own. I'm trying my best to condense it. And you're probably asking yourself, Luis, how did you get into this? Your background doesn't reflect that. I've always been one to study things, and I joke, I say, if I ever get asked in an interview, what's your strength and what's your weakness? My strength is that once I decide to do something, I'm 100%. What's your weakness? Sometimes I go down a rabbit trail. How many of you feel like that too? Yep. So I was like, I got to learn this AI and automation and marketing because I need it in my own business. So I started networking, going to events, going to masterminds. And it's funny, when I was a teacher, the principal and the vice principal and some of the other teachers would come and ask me tech-related questions. And I would be able to help them. So I've always carried that with me. But between these two here, many automated systems are not intelligent, and not all AI is used to automate. So there are some automated systems that can rely on artificial intelligence, but it doesn't happen the other way around. Luis, what the heck is automation? This is a visual here that will hopefully drive the message home. So for example, let's say you're running a webinar and you want to set up different triggers that happen based on whether people register or not. If someone doesn't register for the webinar, you can have an email go out on a Friday that would remind them to sign up, to register. And then you can have other automations that follow that. Again, if this happens, then do this, then do that. Okay? That same principle, that same model. This is just one example. This could be applied to when a new customer or new client comes in. You can set up different workflows that touch base with them and nurture them, or help with fulfillment. Is that making sense, guys? Okay. Artificial intelligence, on the other hand, uses different learning models to make decisions. The more you feed it, the smarter it's going to get, the more it's going to be able to help you or help give you the output that you're looking for. Some pretty popular large language models that are out there are ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, Grok. Raise your hand if you have heard of any of these. Okay, hands down. Who here uses ChatGPT? Okay, hands down. Who here uses Gemini? Okay, Claude? Okay. I personally use them for different purposes. ChatGPT is the version of OpenAI, and I like to use it to create what's called custom GPTs. So if you're finding yourself creating the same thing, and it's a process that every time you go, you're giving it the same prompt and you want the same output back, you could create what's called custom GPTs, and it's very predictable. It could also help you with content. Gemini is the Google version of their large language model, and it relies on the Google search engine. It relies on a lot of the information that comes from the Google ecosystem. Okay, Grok is Twitter's version. I hear lately Grok is really good when it comes to creating codes, when it comes to creating content and designing things. And Claude is Anthropic's version, and it's really good with coding, and it's also good with copywriting, writing text. Okay? That's on a very granular level, guys. If you want to generate images, you could use OpenAI's version, DALL-E. You can give it a prompt as if you're talking to someone, generate an image of a cat, and it will do it. Or you can say, here is an image of the front of a house that I want to repair. Give me an example of, I don't know, an awning on it, and make the walls gray or make the walls blue. And it will generate you an image of that same house, but with those requirements that you're looking for. This is Google's version. It's called Nano Banana. You can use this for generating AI photos, or also to do the same example that I gave you guys. If you have something you're going to be remodeling and you want to see what it could look like, this could generate different variations for you. Midjourney is a little more advanced, more complex, but it helps you generate images and also helps you generate different variations as well. So it may not only give you one image, but it can give you different variations depending on what you're looking for. One of the things that I hear is, or misconceptions, people say that AI is the devil. How many of you have heard anything like that? I personally feel like AI is just a tool. It's something that is like a stone. You could use a stone as a weapon to harm someone, and there are people that use stones to harm others. On the other hand, there are people that use stones to build houses, to build beautiful walls. It's up to you how you want to use it. I'm more of the camp of, hey, let's use this for good and see how we can enhance what we're doing and how we could make a positive impact in the world. And one of the ways that I like to communicate with AI is following this framework that I call the RCO. RCO stands for role. So you want to tell the AI what role is going to be acting as. So for example, it could be a marketing expert, it could be a business consultant, a data analyst, or a chimney sweep expert, a home remodeling expert, whatever you want it, you define that. So when you are talking to it, you want to make sure that you are giving it a role. So you are a fill in the blank, right? That's the role. Why are we doing this? Because if you're not giving AI these instructions, AI is a large language model. The LLMs that I showed you guys earlier, what that means is that it has so much information out there that if you don't ask it specific questions, it won't give you that output that you're looking for. So the more specific that you can be with it, the better the response that it's going to give you. How many of you seen AI hallucinate? Yep. It does that because you're not giving it the right prompt. And sometimes it will tell you things that is not true, just because it wants to give you positive information. Now you have to make sure you're saying, if you're going to give me something, make sure it's factual, and you have sources for each one. That is one way that you could bypass that. The other thing is the context. So give it a role and also give it context. Be specific and detailed in your instructions. Avoid ambiguous language. Use precise terms. Include examples when helpful. Specify constraints. The more that you can feed it the context, the better it is going to know what you're looking for. And lastly, the outcome. Define the exact deliverable you need and how it should be formatted. Do you want this information as an image? Do you want it as a PDF file? Do you want it as a CSV? Do you want this as an email template? You need to define what kind of outcome you're looking for, and then it's going to spit it out for you. Is this making sense? Okay. So when in doubt, think of the RCO framework. You guys can take a picture of this if you want. This table here breaks down the difference between automation and AI. AI, when it comes to When it comes to functionality, it simulates human intelligence, whereas automation doesn't have any intelligence. It's more repetitive tasks. It doesn't require any thinking. AI can adapt to learning environments over time, whereas automation is very fixed. It doesn't adapt with the information that you feed in it. AI handles dynamic environments, whereas automation focuses on specific tasks. When it comes to the decision making, AI is based on data and learning. Automation relies on preset rules. So you set those rules in advance, and then it follows them. Okay? You guys witnessed what was called a voice AI agent when I first started my presentation. That is artificial intelligence over the phone. Some use cases for that is, let's say you have a plumbing business, and you don't like getting calls at 2 a.m. If I was a plumber, I wouldn't like getting calls at 2 a.m. But you want whoever is calling to have their call routed and have their message sent. You can have a voice AI agent pick up that call and either send a message to someone, or take the information and then you process that request in the morning. Or let's say you have a property that is listed, and if you have ever listed properties for rent on Facebook Marketplace, you know what I'm talking about. Is this available? Don't ask me if this is available. It's live, it's there. If you're in a situation where you're getting the same questions over and over, you can have a voice AI agent help you process that. So now you are communicating with people that are actually in need to speak with a real human. I like to look at AI and automation as tools. They're just tools. They're vehicles that help me get in front of someone face to face, a human. At the end of the day, and those relationships that I went over earlier, we as humans, we want connection, right? There are some people that are, hey, I don't want any technology. And I feel like they're not able to maximize what they can do and accomplish if they don't embrace it to some degree. And then on the other side, there are people that are like, hey, I want AI and automation, everything. And then they lose that personal touch, that connection. I feel like a good balance between both is using AI and automation for things like office-related things on the back end, again, that are going to get you in front of someone a lot faster. So to that extent, you can use it for text messaging to help you book appointments. Instead of going back and forth with someone, you can have AI give your availability to someone, and then they can book a time, and then you get confirmation on your email or on your calendar. You can also use AI for responding to reviews online, like Google reviews, things like that. Nowadays, you can also use AI to create funnels and landing pages. You could also use it to create content and for workflow automations. At all of these stages in your business, you can incorporate AI anywhere on your ideal avatar's life cycle, from prospecting to qualifying to offering to retaining them and staying on top of mind. Real estate is like dating. The longer you're on the market, the more people wonder what's wrong with you. Isn't that true these days? Wait, some houses sitting on the market longer than they should. Some of you that are probably single can't relate to this, but there's hope. There's hope. So what should you be focusing your time on? Number one, focus your time on letting others know what you're looking for. Same thing with AI prompting. AI is not going to give you what you're looking for if you don't know how to communicate with it. If other people in your circle don't know what you're looking for, what kind of deals, who will be an ideal client for you, it's going to be hard for them to bring or to refer you. So be vocal about it. What you do, what you're looking for, and how you can add value to them. That's number one. Number two, build a network. Start building relationships with others. If you feel like you are good in an area, but you're lacking others, or your trade that requires it, try to make an effort to meet others. and build your network, just like we see here. This is from the book, The Millionaire Real Estate Investor, from Gary Keller. Have you guys heard that name before, Gary Keller? Okay. Gary Keller is the founder of Keller Williams. Really good book. I highly recommend it. Third, referral program. It helps you grow your business from within your existing client base. So focus on these three things: letting others know what you're looking for, building your network, and building a referral basis, a referral program. After you figure this out, then see, okay, how can I incorporate AI and automation to each of these things? Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what business you're in, what you do, we all need those things. If the robots ever take over, I know I'm good because I always say please and thank you. So once those leads come in, make sure that you are using a pre-qualification questionnaire. I'm in real estate. I'm still active as an investor. So I have this questionnaire that when a lead comes in, I break them into these 4 channels. Are they a renter? Are they a seller? Are they an investor? Or are they a buyer? This qualification helps me, pre-qualification question helps me know which of those buckets I'm going to place someone on. And what I do then is use AI and automation to help me streamline this. So you guys should figure out what that will look like for you and then see how you can incorporate AI and automation. Something else that I do is rely on pipeline stages. How many of you have heard of Trello? Trello boards, okay? Think of a Trello board. When a lead comes in or a project comes in, it's going to be in this column. The next action is going to be here, third, right? So on and so forth. So lead comes in, appointment booked, appointment schedule, service fulfilled, deal closed, as a basic example. You can automate a lot of this process so that when someone goes from this stage to this other stage, it could trigger a text message, it could trigger an email. For example, let's say you have an HVAC company and you move someone from here because the appointment is booked. So they can get a confirmation text message, hey, your appointment has been booked for this time, this date. So-and-so is going to see you there. We look forward to working with you. That's one example. Okay. You also want to document everything. Again, you can use AI and automation for this, where now if you're servicing a client, you can store the information in one place. That is easy. And depending on what you're using, you can set up automation and AI to trigger different workflows. So an example here, I can see when this contact visited the website and what the action has been with them, when they received an email, when payment was received, and any communication between us will go in the middle. All of that is here is automating. This is important for a lot of businesses, but not when you're in business or you're servicing clients, you're wearing already so many hats. This helps you take those things off your plate so that you can be in person connecting with others. For me, that's why I do what I do, so that I can get in front of someone as quickly as possible and I can help them. But all of this behind the scenes is being automated. A very simple way to remember those 3 things is focusing on generating qualified leads. Again, how are they qualified? Because you're letting others know what you're looking for. How are you closing them? Because you have a qualification process, questionnaire, and then you're retaining them by either having a newsletter or having an referral program, or if someone uses you a second time, they get a discount. You have to figure out what that looks like for you, but this gives you a good idea as to what you should be focusing your time on, because I'm living proof that you could go down a rabbit hole with some of these things and these tools and shiny objects, and then you're like, what did I spend my time on? What did I just do with all of this? If you focus on this, then see which AI models, which automation can help you expedite this. A tool that we use is Local Hero Automation. It's our CRM that helps us with that. And it just makes it really easy to keep track of those things. Some tools that I recommend. You guys could take a picture of this if you want. Opus Clip, I'm not affiliated with them, but I like sharing them. Opus Clip helps you, so let's say you put a concrete slab and you want to promote it online to showcase your work. You can have Opus Clip take a long video and make it short. So it will use AI to take what it feels could go viral, and then you could take that with you and share it on social media. You could send it via email, but AI does the editing for you, so you don't have to be there and see where to cut the video. Local Hero Automation is the CRM that I mentioned to you guys. It comes with AI and automation. If some of you have team members or employees, or you yourself want to remember how you do a task or do something on the computer, you could use this tool called Loom. Loom will record your screen, and if you have the pay feature, it will help summarize what you're going over your screen. So instead of you having to think, okay, how can I explain what I just did on the video, it does it for you. So if you need to share that with team members, not only are they getting it in video now, but they're also getting it in text. It's great for SOPs, standard operating procedures. OpenAI, ChatGPT, you guys know. Zoom is for video conferences, similar to Google Meet. The paid option for Zoom has AI Companion. Have any of you used AI Companion before? Okay. AI Companion, after you have a meeting with someone over Zoom, it will summarize the conversation and give you next steps. So it's very useful if you are having meetings with clients or other team members, so that afterwards you can go over the summary and be like, okay, this is what I have to do, this is what they have to do, and everybody's on the same page. It just makes it easier. ClickUp is for project management. And Jake, I don't know what I just did. Oh, here. ClickUp is for project management. It's really good. Claude, I mentioned. Descript, if you have a video that you do and you want to have it transcribed, this will transcribe the entire video for you. Canva helps you edit images. And Google Drive is awesome. I love using Google Drive. It's very useful. That's it. This is my contact information here. Luis Vanderhorst, phone number, email. I am thinking about starting a newsletter. So this QR code will put you on our wait list. When we launch, you'll be able to learn more about AI and automation and how it can help you in your business. But the point I want to drive home tonight is relationship capital. Focus on building relationship with others, and then see how you can incorporate AI and automation to enhance those relationships. But at the end of the day, people want that human connection. So focus on that, and you will see your business grow and your relationships grow. Thank you guys for being here. Yeah, we'll do some Q&A. Any questions you guys have? Russ? Hey. Same. You asked me, yeah, 2 questions there. One is, let's start with the form. Hey, I don't want to fill out the form. You got to read your audience, read your clients. Elderly folks that are now maybe techie, there may be some resistance there with filling out a form. Then in that case, let's say, I don't know, let's say it's a rental that you have available. Instead of having a digital form, have a paper copy of the application for them to fill out. At the end of the day, try to make it easier for them and make it easier for you. And then when it comes to, I'm assuming you're talking about the voice AI. Someone calling, they want to speak with a real human. You can train the AI to say, I am an AI assistant. I'm here to help you with whatever you need. That being said, if you want to speak with a human, I'm happy to connect you right now. Any other questions? Go ahead, Kevin.
Is there a way to have an AI assistant on your voicemail instead of voicemail? Have it try to at least get the people to say something.
Yeah, Google now has that. Google Assistant, Google or Pixels have that. I hear Siri has something similar as well, where it will pre-screen the call for you, and you have to say your name and what you're calling about, and then you as the receiving end will hear what that is, and you decide. That's on the basic side. It's not as advanced as what I showed you. Yeah. Eli?
So what does your real estate life look like currently? Do you have rentals that you manage, or do you manage?
They cracked down on wholesaling, so I've had to pivot. I'm not licensed. Most of what we do now, we have rentals and we do flips. Yeah, and we do some private lending as well. So I've had to pivot. We had some rentals when that law went into place. Most of what I did before was assignment of contracts. When the law came in place, we decided to focus a little more on buying outright and do some lending. So the question is, if you're interested in learning about this AI and exploring it, are there any courses or information out there that you can tap into? YouTube is good. Just make sure you filter through, again, based on what you want to learn. Otherwise, you could be learning about things that don't really apply to you. I think like playing with the images is nice, is cool, but at the end of the day, is making AI images going to help your business, is going to drive the needle forward. So identify what that is. But Google has some free courses that you can go through and some learning and certifications that you can sign up for. Just look up courses on AI by Google, and you can find some. Yeah, you can ask that. Yeah, you can ask ChatGPT, hey, I want to learn about this. Can you teach me? And you can decide what level of complexity you want. Teach this to me as if I'm a teach this to me in 7th grade language, or teach this to me at a high school level or a college level. Yes, go to OpenAI, and they have a free plan and they have a pay plan. The first tier of the pay plan is $20 a month. For the value you get for it, it's a no-brainer for me. Yeah. John?
What you're saying is the free version is a lot cheaper version than like you just said it, right?
Yes.
You would actually go with the $20 plan versus the free plan just because of getting better information.
You're getting better information. You can still get information from the free one, but it won't be as good as the paid one.
And the difference is worth the $20.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Miguel?
Do you want to touch on what not to share through the?
Yeah, there are some conversations now that could be public. If you're not on the pay plan, just make sure to look at the settings and that it says that the conversations are private. But obviously, don't share personal information. Don't give your social security, guys. And what I say is you could be vague with it. Hey, a friend is going through this. What advice do you have for them? You don't have to say like your personal if you don't feel comfortable sharing that. This one, Landlord's Hub, I believe it is. If you type Landlord's Hub, you should be able to find it. Yeah. Landlord's Hub. Yep. Russ? Yeah. A good question. So what Russ is saying, if I want to explain, prompting is communicating with the AI so that it gives you the information that you're looking for. And this is a good framework that I recommend to you guys. Another misconception that I hear is AI is making us dumber because people don't know how to communicate. I feel like it's the opposite. If you don't know how to prompt it and give it the information that you're looking for, it's not going to give you that. It's going to give you something that is not tied to what you're asking. So you have to know how to communicate what you're looking for so that you can get that back. Joe, I like your thinking. Let's see here. No, yeah. You got to tell me. I'm from Reading, man. Okay, so all right, who wants to volunteer? All right, let's do it. You can even talk to it. Is real estate a good investment? Yes, real estate can be a good investment, but it depends on the strategy, market conditions, and the investor goals. Here's a clear and balanced breakdown. So it breaks it down: cash flow, appreciation, leverage, tax benefits, inflation, hedge, risk to consider, bad deals, maintenance, repairs, market cycles, management, when real estate makes the most sense. Yeah. So let's say turn this into an email so that I can. So my prompt is turn this into an email so that I can share with a friend who is interested in real estate. So then it went ahead and turned that information into an email. And if you notice, this is all in the same thread, which a lot of the learning models that are out there, you can keep the same conversation going in the same chat. This is called a chat. And if you ask questions, it will take what was said earlier and what you ask it, and it will give you the output based on that conversation chat. If you want it to start fresh, then you want to go to here and start a new chat.
So that's a great broad overview. If you're looking at maybe a house that you own, is this particular house a good investment, or should I buy this house, or something very, very specific?
In what city though?
You know, preferably an address that you're familiar with.
Oh.
Main Street what?
One that you own, or one, an address that you're.
Joe, I don't want people knowing my pop. What? I'm kidding. Okay. How long would it take to see the results? I don't know. I just asked. I own 123 Main Street, Reading, PA. I want to capture depreciation. How long would it take to see results? So since you own an income-producing property, 123 Main Street, the IRS lets you write off the cost of the building over 27.5 years for residential rentals. This reduces your taxable income, which means you pay less taxes each year. Let's ask our tax preparer.
Now let's do a follow-up to that. Say, is there a way to make the 27 and a half years, see if it recommends a 1031 or something?
Is there a way to make the 27.5 quicker? Is there a way to make the 27.5 quicker? Yes, there is a way to make the 27.5 year schedule much faster. You can't change the IRS rule itself, 27.5 years for residential, but you can reclassify parts of the property so they depreciate faster than 27.5, and I don't know what just happened. Let me unplug and plug back in. But it says a cost seg study breaks your property into parts. Flooring, cabinets, appliances, lighting, typical life, 5 to 7 years, depreciate much faster. Landscaping, parking pads, fencing, 15 years, faster than 27.5. So this goes down in each of those items, and then it gives you a depreciation schedule here. The current federal bonus depreciation schedule in 2023 was 80%, 2024, 60%, 2025, 40%. Is that not accurate? Okay, I was going to ask you guys. Okay. So how can we get information like this updated? So give me the actual sources for your findings. What are the actual 2025? So I said, give me the actual sources for your findings. What are the actual 2025? Bonus depreciation is phasing out, having reduced to 80% for 2023 and 60% for 2024. It will further decline to 40% for 2025. And then it has the tax advisor here as a resource. So, not correct? Okay, we're hearing it from someone here. So you have to cross-check, cross-reference, check different sources, make sure it's legit. But this hopefully gives you guys a good idea as to how it works. So let's say you find yourself doing the same prompt over and over. Where's that at, John?
All the way at the bottom, it did say it, 100%, right there.
Oh, right here. You may restore 100% bonus depreciation for certain property placed in services after January 19, 2025. That's it? Okay. Good. Anything else, guys? I have statements. Generate qualified leads. Close those qualified leads and retention. Oh, the RCO? You want to give it a role, which we did in here. What would be a good role to give it in this case? You're a tax preparer or IRS expert. That will be the role. Your job is to help me accelerate my depreciation faster, and then give me the information as an email or as a text. Yeah, a lot. I use it daily. It would all depend on what you use it for. What you want to use it for.
For you, in your business.
For me, it saves me a lot of time, yes.
On the ChatGPT, what are the current trends? How to navigate?
Current trends in what? Okay. Jake, are we good with time? Okay. You're the boss, all right? Yes. Okay, so the prompt here, you are a real estate expert. What are the current trends in the real estate market in Lancaster County as we approach 2026? So let's hear from you guys. What do you think it's going to probably say? Seller's market? Okay. Raise your hand if you think it's going to be a seller's market. Okay. Hands out. Raise your hand if you think it's going to be a buyer's market. Raise your hand if you have no idea. Okay. Let's find out. It even gave us some images. Wow. Current market snapshot. The home value in Lancaster County is around $371,864, which is up about 4.4% year over year. Median sales price in September 2025 was roughly $358,000. It remains seller advantage market, especially for well-priced homes in desirable locations and with good condition. Let's see outlook and forecast into 2026. A 2026 outlook from a local Lancaster real estate blog projects after a quieter couple of years, 2026 is expected to bring more movement and more opportunity. With sales projected to rise, mortgage rates trending lower, and price growth slowing down. More specific forecasts, one analyst, let's see, Lancaster County will be up 165, and median price growth 1.5% in the quarter. Slower price growth, expect appreciation, but at more moderate pace rather than double-digit jumps. More inventory, buy-side opportunities, still strong demand. So for sellers, take advantage now before competition rises. For buyers, investors, a more stable, predictable market is forming. Less skittish pricing, more room to negotiate. So those I said, buyer's market. You were on the money. Yeah, that would be a whole nother session. Any other questions, guys? Yes, you can use it to clean lists over thousands of rows. It's impressive what it can do. To clean lists, organize information based on columns.
We even had it where there was a bank statement that we imported and got it to an Excel spreadsheet from the data.
The bank statement. So John is saying he imported a bank statement and it helped create an spreadsheet based on that information that they fed it. Yep. Chris is asking if I could share a little bit more about Outsource My Life. We help businesses incorporate these different things to reach those goals. Generate qualified leads through paid ads like Facebook ads, Google. One thing that I personally believe is really going to pick up now is search engine optimization. And that's because where are people going? They're going to these AI models and asking questions on there. The traffic on websites may be going down, but the information is being more readily available. And the more that you can invest time and effort into putting content, education out there, blogs, citations, the easier it's going to be for people to find you because people are asking questions, they're searching. So we help businesses with that, and we give them the CRM platform so they can manage those leads from there. Yeah.
How about a big hand for Luis?
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
That thing of playing with ChatGPT is just too much fun, all right? So as I'm sitting over there, and I've played around with this a little bit, I use it for some practical stuff too, but sometimes it's fun just to play with it, right? So this is not helpful. This is for entertainment purposes only, right? So the prompt that I gave ChatGPT, and this is the free version, by the way, I said, write a funny poem based on the following information: local investment meeting, topic, real estate investing, and AI and automation, speaker, Luis Vanderhorst. Are you ready? That's all I did. And what it came back with the first time, it says, we gathered one night, our coffee in hand, to learn how to profit from buying some land. Luis took the mic with a confident grin and said, let's talk real estate and some robots within. He spoke of returns, cash flow and gain, of tenants and toilets and stress on the brain. But then he said, wait, don't fear, automation. AI is the new tool for your real estate nation. Now bots find the deals while we're still in bed, and spreadsheets update while we nap instead. So here's to investing. The future looks bright with Luis and his AI showing us the light. Not bad. Anyway, thanks for that, Luis. There was way more that he could have got into, I'm sure. Some of this stuff, honestly, if you're sitting there almost rejecting some of these ideas, I'm actually one of those people. But I also think it's some things that are helpful to learn, and it's affecting the world around us. Hopefully that was helpful. Thanks, Luis. Appreciate you and your family coming down, spending the evening with us. I know it's a big sacrifice to do that, so we really appreciate it. Just real quick, I think only one quick, if I can get out of my ChatGPT here. Yeah, that'll wrap it up. Next month, we have Matt Byler coming back again. Matt Byler's been in this room a handful of times over the last years. And so we have Matt Byler coming back again. Some of you guys know him as the guy that does the weekly phone podcast called Investors Oasis. I'm not exactly sure what he's going to talk about yet, but he'll come up with something good. It's just a practical, I just always enjoy hearing from Matt, and I know a lot of you guys do as well. So he's on for next month. Perhaps we can play around with ChatGPT and get it to come up with some good topics for next month. But anyway, thank you guys for coming out. I hope to see you back here again the first Wednesday night in December.